Hare Krishna. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnana-anjana-salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yen Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaः. Hare Krishna. This is a very important chapter because it is teaching uh, very important lessons. Two, three very important lessons. Yesterday we discussed how Parikshit Maharaj is able to see Krishna. He got trained to see every situation is sent by Krishna. And when death comes also, he could see, oh, this is Krishna is coming. And he is very happy. And what we are all doing now, we are all sitting and celebrating the death of Parikshit Maharaj. It's a festival actually. What happened is one time Prabhupada got a telegram. And that time now there is no breaking news or SMS or WhatsApp or calls. Because telegram is to come. And people like news, breaking news, all this news. People, this is very nicely utilized, this mentality. Janaki and Malti Mataji were there, and they ask. They asked that Prabhupada took the telegram and kept aside. He didn't even read also. He said, Prabhupada, read. There may be some very good news. And Prabhupada read it and he kept aside. They asked, Prabhupada, is it any good news? Prabhupada said, very good news. Yes, what happened? Prabhupada said, my sister died. And they said, Prabhupada, how is it a good news? And Prabhupada said, yes, she's a devotee. She went back to Krishna. And now she is with Krishna. So that's why it is a good news. This is, now she is next to Krishna. So it is very good news. Now, Prabhupada is actually teaching how celebrating this. Generally, people want to celebrate victories. People think life is needed in order to learn how to become attached. But actually, life is needed, and all the lessons that Krishna sent to us are needed in order to see how we are attached and get out of it. Like Krishna is very persistent. Despite our unwillingness to learn this, he's sending various lessons to teach us. Like Napoleon Bonaparte, he was kept in Saint Helena Islands. He was captured by Britishers. That is the only war he lost. And then Napoleon, he writes actually on the island. He was thinking about Jesus Christ and write some amazing things. He looks back at his life and says, I had many victories. And he was a very brilliant leader, military leader, and he won everything except for one, the last where he was captured, one after another. And he says, I understood all these victories are nothing. They're all defeat only. There is one person in front of my eyes, and here is his victory, that is Jesus. All my victories are zero and dust only, emptiness. That means Napoleon learned his lesson. That is what Krishna is trying to do. He's sending again and again and again, even though we are unwilling to learn, but some intelligent people learned, and Napoleon learned. He did learn the lesson Krishna sent to him. He did not think at that moment, oh, how great I am, how many victories I gained, and now I am going to die. Everyone will think. No, he is understanding all these victories are my attachments only. And generally, what are victories? Why do people love victories? Is because that is they are the attachments we have. Because anytime my things are done, I become attached to it. Why we become upset? Husband, wife, children, parents. Why there is a fight? Everybody want their thing to be done, and that is considered victory. If people are not doing the way I want, I consider it's a defeat. I don't want it. I want to be victorious all the time. People, my word should be the final word. Everything should be my way. That is how we are attached. Now, uh, I want this victory, and this is where I got a medal. I was awarded, and at the end of life, and we understand that it's all a stupid game. Now they gave me medal and they gave a letter. They gave me my certificate, my diploma, my graduation and all these things. It's all actually at the time of death, nothing works. Only Krishna will come. If you don't see Krishna properly, then he will come in the form of death. And attachments can be positive and negative also. I can be hatred for something, I can deny something, that is negative attachments. And some are positive attachment. Of course, Parikshit Maharaj from the childhood was positively attached to Krishna, and that's how it is there. And some more very important points from this we can learn is, now here one more important thing is, Parikshit Maharaj, he is, usually people have certain idea about themselves, and they feel that yes, I'm very good person. And this is what people feel about themselves. This is, I'm good. And everything about ourselves. Now, but Parikshit Maharaj, na, he is saying, no, 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 no. Actually, I did wrong. I did really very big mistake. This is what is a person, Parikshit Maharaj. Usually, there is the speech of Parikshit Maharaj, what he's speaking, na? This is how a devotee is. This is a devotee's internal quality of a devotee. Externally, he looks different, but internally they have attachment to Krishna. Now Parikshit is showing externally also is manifesting this. He is saying, "Oh, I am actually very sinful." He is not telling, "Oh, I am perfect. I never did anything wrong in any situation. All I did is right." And he is not expecting that, no, all the sages will say, yeah, yeah, you are always right, but somehow it happened to you. No, but actually, no, he never did anything sinful in his whole life except for this one thing. But that only he is considering, no, no, no. He is not trying to show off. He is not expecting that the sages will say, yeah, yeah, what can be done? You are such a nice person. He's not expecting anything like that. He's not pretending. He's genuinely feeling. He's not, there is no disclaimer. Generally, there is expectation. I also have. If I do something, I say, yeah, I tried. And then I expect devotees, they say, no problem, bro, you tried your best. No, it is good only. You made a good attempt of the class. Your class was nice. At least one person appreciated. So you messed up the class, and then at least you expect somebody will say, you tried, bro, no problem. Next time. But Parikshit Maharaj is not expecting anything like that. This is actually very nice way to learn the qualities of a person. He has inner repentance. For no reason, for no good reason, he felt that I took and hang a dead serpent on the sage. No, he was sincerely believing himself, I am a sinner. And this is the only mistake of Parikshit Maharaj, maybe according to Bhagavatam. He might have not done also. But he thought that this is somehow by arrangement of some Lord's power or energy this happened. No. Now this repentance is a deep, sincere, uh, there is a deep, sincere feeling in the heart. This means the person does not have false ego, then he can do repentance. Generally, kings now they have very big false ego. And Parikshit Maharaj, he glorifies the sages. Arey, you took time and came for me. Generally, you people don't come for kings, because kings, they have very big false egos. And the degree they have false ego, around the people also, it expands to the dimensions of another space and pushes everybody out. We may have this experience at the house. Somebody in the house has a big false ego. I think in my house, I must be the big, the big false ego. So my false ego will affect other people also. I try to push them, pull them down, or make them do the way I want. Here also, Parikshit Maharaj telling, we kings are like that. We have big false ego, but you are so kind. You came all the way for my sake. And he says that I am very attached person. This is also he feels. And but this is when people, they come to spirituality, no? Unfortunately, people take certain self-confidence of a person or a person as a sign of spiritual uh, weakness. Actually, they it's a they feel that spiritual people, they are just weak-minded. It is not like that. They feel, they always say, I am weak, I am low. This is not actually self-confidence. That is not the way. And also, there is another negative side. They say there is another type of self-confidence, and this self-confidence is what, I am always right. And this is actually another big problem, especially for the leaders. What they feel that people, weak people fall into this category. They need to find some person whom they want to stick to. And this happened to some gurus. What they actually impersonate the gurus. They create an image of infallibility for the guru. My guru is infallible, and they stick to him. And now guru also creates a situation, I am infallible, I am infallible. And then what happens now? But here, if you see, the sign of spiritual progress is of the person who sincerely within himself does not consider himself infallible. Parikshit Maharaj is saying, I am a sinner. This is what Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Amara Jivan Sada Paperata. This is very important. More the person progress, more he feels. Gopinath, Mama Nivedana Suno. Like this Bhaktivinoda Thakur is writing. That means Guru does not feel he is infallible. He feels more and more in a humble state. But if people want somebody to take shelter of infallible person, Guru is also showing such image, then there will be problems. I have few more points to share. We'll just to take 2-3 purports, and there one of the shlokas Rupa Goswami quotes for Bhaktiraj Samat Sindhu also, and this is very important. One thing I remember when the snakes come is one time when I was in the college times, I went with my friends to a movie, and near the theater, the snake charmers came. Snake charmer came, and he was having 2-3 snakes with him. And because Parikshit Maharaj also caused to be death with a snake, and there is so much fear for people with snake. So what this fellow did, he gave some seeds and some flowers. It's very good flower. Some flowers in everybody's hand. Some people were there, and he said, this is a special flower brought from Himalaya, special puja, and had a special power. And he created a big scene, and he said, and everybody is holding, and he chanted some this, that, and this is about the snake, and now you all received it. And nice scene he created, and then now you all received. Now you have to put this flower back, but with at least 10 to 20 rupees. Otherwise, you will be affected by the snake curse and other things. Now everybody became afraid. I was the I took that, I kept back without giving any money. I said, I don't care. And that snake char was really very upset. Of course, my friends and other people around, they're really afraid. They kept money and they came. I was not afraid. They said, when we want something, then they can take advantage. Now they thought we are getting something, and if you don't give, then you will be punished. I said, I don't need only this snake blessing, that blessing. I kept it back. I was fearless in that case anyway. But point is what? People now, Parikshit Maharaj is not fearful. He is not, snake is coming, this, that, what will happen. He is not attached only. He don't want anything from this material world. So for him, it becomes so easy. That is the secret. If you don't want, nobody can control you. The government is very much afraid of people who are sense controlled, because the economy will not grow only. Economy will grow when there are people are they are not able to control their senses, and they do so much sensitive education. Then they purchase things. They purchase so many goods, and to purchase they work very hard, make more money, and spend all the money in purchasing things. Again work hard, again purchase. In that way, economy will grow. If people are sense controlled, they are eating khichdi in the morning, and they are happy with little work. And 2 times they eat khichdi, and they are happy with simple living. then where is the question of economic growth? Like many Bengal and Orissa people, they work in the daytime and that's all. They get money, they eat and they sleep. They don't even work in the evening also. And they will work that day, that money is finished. Again, they work for next day money. There are many people like that. And some of them, they have only two gamchas. They wear one on the top, one they will tie on their waist. And then they take bath, they dry it. One they dry, one they wear, take bath. And that's all. They manage months and years. They live very simply. Of course, people call it is laziness. If they chant and do some spiritual activity, that is must. But it is possible to live also. That's what I am telling you. Anyway, we will just read some of the purports. And there are nice things which Parikshit Maharaj is going to say. And then this verse, this is how they might have started quite some of them few months before only to arrive at Parikshit Maharaj's place. They may be having this Trikala Jnana. They may be already knowing according to their calculation that this is going to happen after a few months. They might have, because they walk and come many of them with their disciples, so it might have taken quite long time. But they know that Parikshit is going to get cursed and he's going to then better go there and celebrate the departure of Parikshit. They want to celebrate the festival. From different parts of the universe, they arrive at great sages like Atri, Chavana, Sadha, Arishtanemi, Bhrugu, Vasishta, Parashara, Vishwamitra, Angira, Parashurama, Uttiya, Indra, Paramada, Idam, Vaha, Medhati, Devala, Arishtashne, Bharadwaja, Gautama, Pippala, Maitreya, Aurava, Kabasha, Kamhoyini, Dvaipayana, and the great personality Narada. Now, these sages, I am not going to read them. Can do it as a homework. And yeah, Sunday onwards, we are doing Bhagavatam structural review. Whoever sent the number, I am joining them in the group. And somebody more interested, we are trying to, this is based on the lectures of His Holiness Bhaktivinoda Maharaj, structural review. They are available on YouTube. Somebody want, they can hear. But somebody want like more detailed explanation, or we are trying to slowly try to discuss the same thing and some more points adding to it. Somebody is interested, they can send me their number. I'll add in the group. We are making separate WhatsApp group for it, and I'll send some notes also. This is another announcement for it. This is why we need to know the structure. It is very, very helpful to get a bird's overview, and it also gives the proper direction to understand Bhagavatam. What exactly, because there are many things what acharyas have told about Bhagavatam, which is very helpful to learn and understand. If somebody want, they can send me the number in the WhatsApp. I'll add. Today I'm going to add. Yesterday could not get time. I'm add in the WhatsApp group their number. They can send me, or I am posting my number. They can send a WhatsApp to me. I will also send. This is my number. You can send a WhatsApp message on it. I will add them to the group. Also, there are many other saintly demigods, kings, and special royal orders called Arunadayas, a special rank of Rajarishis from different dynasties of sages. When they all assembled together to meet the Emperor Parikshit, he received them properly and bowed his head to the ground. The system of bowing the head to the ground to show respect to superiors is an excellent etiquette which obliges the honored guest deep into the heart. Even the first great offender is excused simply by this process. Maharaj Parikshit, although honored by all the rishis and kings, welcomed all the big men with that humble etiquette in order to excuse for any offenses. Generally, at the last stage of one's life, this humble method is adopted by even sensible man in order to be excused before departure. In this way, Maharaj Parikshit implored everyone's goodwill for going back home, back to God. Yeah. And there he says, after all the rishis and others had seated, themselves comfort to the king, humbly standing before them with folded hands, told them of his decision to fast until death. This is a very important. Next shloka is also very important. So this is what we will discuss next shloka. Although the king has already decided to fast until death on the bank of Ganges, he humbly expressed his decision to elicit the opinions of the great authorities present there. Any important decision, however firmly fixed, should be confirmed by some authority. That makes the matter perfect. This is very important. If you are doing any vows and all, no, for Kartik or Adhik Mas or anything, we just have to take confirmation from some seniors and take their blessings before doing. That is very important. If you do on our own, you will not get much benefit. It is better to confirm, take blessings, what you want to do. Then we will not become proud also, because we know we did not do on our own. It is by blessings of them we are able to do it. That is very important. This means that the monarch who ruled the earth in those days are not irresponsible directors. They scrupulously followed the authoritative decisions of the saints and sages in terms of Vedic invention. Maharaj Parikshit, the perfect king, followed the principles by consulting the authorities even up to the last day of his. This is they consulted and they took lessons. And Parikshit Maharaj says, Aho vayam danyatamam nripanam mahattamanugrahaniya shila rajñam kulam brahma pada suchat dhurat varshitam ata grihya karma varshitam vata grihya karma. This is very important. He says, the fortunate king said, indeed, we are the most grateful of all the kings, for we have been trained to get favor from great souls. Generally, you is considered royal as refused to be rejected and left in a distant space. This is actually what is, because they are attached. That's the reason they feel like that. I was telling that it's a big ego will be there. According to religious principles, one should leave stool, urine, waste, water, etc. at a long distance. The attached bathroom, urinals, etc. may be very convenient amenities of modern civilization, but they are ordered to be situated at a distance from residential quarters. That very example is cited here in relation to kingly order for those who are progressively marching back home backward. And then now what happens? People eat in the house and go outside for clearing their stomach. Now people eat outside and come home to clear their stomach. This is Kali Yuga. So we are all victims. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that to be in intimate touch with dollars and cents men or the kingly order is worse than suicide for one who desires to go back from backward. In other words, the transcendentalists do not generally associate with men who are too enamored with the external beauty of God's creation. One pastime is there of Radhanath Swami Maharaj. Prabhupada was coming to New Vrindavan. The flush was not working. And Radhanath Maharaj started repairing. He said, Prabhupada will come, need flush. And whole night he worked and he made the flush ready. And Prabhupada came there because it's all forest. Prabhupada early morning, he took one lota and he went into the forest. He said, it's so natural. Why we need a flush toilet here? Maharaj worked very hard whole night to make the flush repaired. And Prabhupada even didn't use only flush. He saw, it's nice. Let me go into the nature. Because that's how previous. Now it is considered very uncivilized, and whole government spent crores and crores of rupees to build toilets in all villages in India. And people, anyway, for us it is difficult to have like that. By advanced knowledge and spiritual realization, the transcendentalists know that this beautiful material world is nothing but a shadow reflection of the reality, the kingdom of God. They are not therefore very much captivated by royal opulence or anything like that. But in case of Maharaj Parikshit, the situation was different. Apparently, the king was condemned to death by an inexperienced Brahmana boy, but factually was called by the Lord to return to him. other transcendentalists, the great sages and mystics, who assembled together because of Maharaj Parikshit's fasting and death, were quite anxious to see him, for he was going back home, back to God. And Maharaj Parikshit also could understand that this great sages who assembled there were all uh, kind to his forefathers, the Pandavas, because of their devotional service to the Lord. Now, this is what Parikshit Maharaj is feeling. He is feeling they are coming not because of me. He therefore felt grateful to the sages for being present there at the last stage of life, and felt it is all due to the greatness of his late forefathers or grandfathers. It's not because of him. He felt proud, therefore, that he happened to be the descendant of such a great devotee. Such pride is being related to the devotees of the Lord is certainly not equal to the puffed up sense of vanity for material prosperity. First is reality, whereas other is false. Some nice points I wanted to share here. Here, this another thing is at the time of death. Uh, generally, our minds are extremely agitated without any cause. Somebody said something and they come 3 years back, and somebody came to us and said, 3 years back this person told about you like this, and I heard from this person. And the mind is agitated. How can people are not able to think of anything else? How can? Because what is hurting is ego is wounded. Here, what is important, our mind comes into extraordinary excitement, especially at the time of death. And also another thing is, we want to be always right. Our mind has this state. We feel that I am always right. And everything comes when people say, oh, you did wrong, mind cannot accept only. Because anything we see in life, we feel, oh, I was right, this state is there. This is because of a false ego. And especially when death comes also, this is also very, very unacceptable. Person is very extremely excited, and mind does not completely obey him, and the wave passes in the mind. Now if you see Maharaj Parikshit, he was he was not at all afraid. He's not lamenting. Oh, and these are the signs of spiritual progress. And now he says this is a very famous shloka actually. We'll just read and we'll take that shloka after reading this. The Supreme Personality of God is the control of both and the transcendentalist and mundane world has graciously overtaken me in the form of a Brahmana's curse. You see, he's seeing Krishna only coming me as a curse. Due to my being too much attached to family life, the Lord, in order to save me, has appeared before me in such a way that only out of fear I will detach myself from the world. It is, but he is actually free from fear. It is not because of fear. Maharaj Parikshit, although born in the family of great devotees, the Pandavas, and although securely trained in transcendental attachments for the association of Lord, still found the allurement of mundane family life so strong that he has to be detached by the plan of the Lord. The direct action is taken by Lord in the case of special devotees whom the Lord wants to accomplish to a particular mission. Maharaj Parikshit could understand this by the presence of topmost transcendental in the universe. The Lord resided within his devotees, and therefore the presence of the greats indicate the presence of the Lord. The king therefore welcomed the presence of great rishis as a mark of favor of the Lord. This is a very famous shloka. I think we will read Tammopayatam Pratiyanta Vipra Ganga Cha Devi Datta Chittamishi Dudopa Shikshas Kushata Kuhatat Takshakova Dashatvalam Gayata Vishnu Gata. He says that, O Brahmana, this is quoted by Rupa Goswami to state how Parikshit Maharaj is the state of Bhava. This is for Bhava. And after reading Bhagavatam, he comes to level of Prema. Of course, he is a Nitya Siddha, is from spiritual world only. Only people who have Prema is in spiritual world. But to make us understand what is a person at the stage of Bhava and how does he act, that is explained here. And Here he says, "O Brahmana, just accept me as a completely surrendered soul and let Mother Ganges, the representative of Lord, who accepts me in that way, for I have already taken the lotus feet of Lord into my heart. Let the snake bird or whatever magical thing the Brahmana created bite me at once. I only desire that you all continue seeing the deeds of Lord Vishnu." As soon as one is, the purpose is, as soon as one is given up completely unto the lotus feet of Supreme Lord, is not at all afraid of death. The atmosphere created by the presence of great devotees of the Lord on the bank of the Ganges and Maharaj Parikshit's complete acceptance of Lord's lotus feet are sufficient guarantee to the king for going back home, back to God. Thus, he thus became absolutely free from all fears of death. And next is also very nice. I will just read Punascha Bhuyat Bhagavatyanante Rati Prasangasta Tad Ashrayeshu Mahatsuyamya Bhuyami Shishtim Maitrestu Sarvatra Namo Vijayvya. After offering obeisances unto all you Brahmanas, I pray that if I should again take my birth in the material world, I will have complete attachment to the unlimited Lord Krishna, association with his devotees and friends, relation with all, friendly relation with all. Now, this very important some points here. You see, uh, he says that there are two ways to read this. I'll become free, become detached because fear has come to me. And another way to read this is I quickly get rid of all fear because you're all here and I feel the presence of the God. And another version is uh, I very quickly, distinctly got rid of all fear. I got rid of all fear because you all came here like that. Getting rid of fear means complete equanimity. Now, this is, I was telling, there is another example of Socrates. Socrates, na, what happened? He was a preacher, and many young people used to come, and what he used to tell, Are, like any other preachers, especially ISKCON initial new brahmachari preachers, is all this is nonsense. What you do all your life, all this has no value. You live and nobody needs what you. The greatest, uh, uh, he says that this is all nonsense. This life, material prosperity and all, this is of no value. Now what happened? The rich parents of these young children, they became very afraid. They formed a parent committee to save their children from Socrates. And they formed, it is called tribunal. It was formed. It is a famous anti-sectarian process that took place in ancient Greece. This is especially, the tribunal, they pronounced death sentence to Socrates because he's spoiling the young children. And they said he's corrupting the young people, young children, and who are supposed to be always being very proud, being to think, but now they're changing their values and purpose of life, and it is necessary to kill Socrates. And the judges, they sentence, yes, okay, we will give. And but the judges were also very merciful. They always they tried. They thought let him run away. They did not take any precautions to, and they gave every opportunity for him to escape also. And his friends also suggested, the ship is waiting, get away from here. And Socrates said, why? Why should I go? I will drink poison. He says, well, this is what I was teaching whole life. And now at that moment, why I should escape from death? See, he's not afraid of death. That is the point. I'm absolutely, completely calm because I know I am not dying. He was asked, Are, what do you do when you die? He said, Are, where is the question of death? You cannot catch me only to kill me. My body will remain with you, but I am not the body only. I will run away, but I am absolutely calm. And then they said, okay, let us wait till 12 a.m. because you have to give. They said, no, why 12 a.m.? Give me now only because soul is immortal. Now, this is a very important sign. Here, Parikshit Maharaj is also very calm. He's no fear. Absolutely calm. This is very important. External person is not afraid in the midst of some shortcomings and mistakes, and not trying to escape. Sign of spiritual progress, when say. And here another thing is, um, Parikshit Maharaj is also rejoicing when he seeing all the sages. So another sign is when you see some spiritual practices, you feel very much rejoiced. And these are the two things that are there. And also when I learn how to meet death, I must see the world. This is how Krishna is coming, and uh, of course there are many things like that. We'll just read the purport, and this Prabhupada also writing a very nice point. Prabhupada says, a devotee of the Lord is the only perfect living being, is explained herein by Maharaj Parikshit. A devotee of Lord is no one's enemy. Although there may be many enemies of a devotee of Lord does not like to associate with non-devotees, although he has no enmity with them. He desires association with the devotees of the Lord. This is perfectly natural because birds of same feather mixed together. And the most important function of a devotee is to have complete attachment for Lord Sri Krishna, the Father of all living beings. As a good son of a father behaves in a friendly way with all his other brothers, so also devotees of Lord, being a son of being good son of the Supreme Father, Lord Krishna, sees all other living beings in relation to Supreme Father. He tries to bring back the absurd sons of the Father to the saner stage and to get them to accept the supreme fatherhood of God. Maharaj Parikshit was certainly going back to Godhead. But even if he were not to go back, he prayed for a pattern of life which is the most perfect way in material world. A pure devotee does not desire the company of a personality as great as Brahma, but he prefers association of a petty living being, provided he is a devotee of the Lord. This is very important. So three things, Maharaj Parikshit. I pray that if I should take birth again in the material world, I will have complete attachment to the unlimited Lord Krishna, association of his devotees, and friendly relation with all living beings. So these are the three things that we always need to ask. And this is a thing that is even asked by Sudama Flowerist. When Krishna goes to Mathura, he meets him. And Lord Chaitanya's also, his purposes of coming, external reasons, if you see, they match with these things. How we need to have friendly relation with all living entities, association of Lord. Of course, last one match friendly relation. But that is what is very important. The compassion should be there. And we'll just read 2-3 other things. In perfect sense control, Maharaj Parikshit sat down on a seat of straw placed on the southern bank of Ganges, with the straw's roots pointing east and he himself facing the north. Just previously, he had given charge of kingdom over to his son. Just one word. He might have just told, okay, take care, I'm going. And that's all finished. The river Ganges celebrated the life of a sea. The sea, a seat of Kusha straw is considered to be sanctified if the straw is taken out of earth completely with roots, and pointing the roots toward the east considered to be auspicious. Facing the north is still more favorable for attaining spiritual progress. Maharaj Parikshit handed over the charge of administration to his sons before leaving home. He was thus fully equipped for all favorable conditions. And he says, thus the king Maharaj Parikshit sat fast until death. All the demigods of the higher planets praised the king's action, and in pleasure continually scattered flowers over the earth and played celestial drums. This is nice. See, they're celebrating. This is a festival of Parikshit Maharaj. Even up to the time of Maharaj Parikshit, there was interplanetary communication. News of Maharaj Parikshit's fasting and death to attain salvation reached the higher planets in the sky where the intelligent demigods live. The demigods are more luxurious than human beings, but all of them are obedient to the orders of the Supreme Lord. There is no one in the heavenly planets who is an atheist or non-believer. Thus, any devotee of Lord on the surface of the earth is always praised by them. And in case of Maharaj Parikshit, they are greatly delighted and thus gave token of honor by scattering flowers over the earth and by beating celestial drums. The demigods take pleasure in seeing someone go back to Godhead. They are always pleased with the devotee of Lord, so much so that the uh, adhesive powers they help the devotee in all respects, in and by their action, the Lord is pleased with them. These are an invisible chain of complete cooperation between the Lord, the demigods, and the devotees of the Lord. And he says, all the great sages who are assembled there also praise the decision of Maharaj Parikshan. They express their approval by saying, very good. Naturally, the sages are inclined to do good to the common man, but they have all qualitative powers of the Supreme. Therefore, they were very much pleased to see Maharaj Parikshit, devotee of the Lord, and they spoke as follows. Now, what happens is, all of them, they give their different opinions. And that actually always happens. And especially sages comes means there will be different opinion. Tarko pratishto sutayo vibhinna. Nasa matir. Every muni will have their own opinion. The natural beauty of a living being is enhanced by raising to the spirit platform of devotional service. Maharaj Parikshit was absorbed in attachment for Lord Krishna. Seeing this, the great sages assembled them were very pleased. And they express their approval by saying very good. Such sages are naturally inclined to do good to the common men, and when they see a personality like Maharaj Parikshit advance in devotional service, their pleasure knows no bound, and they offer all blessings to them in their power. The devotional service Lord is so auspicious that all demigods, all sages, and Lord himself become pleased with the devotees. Therefore, the devotees find everything auspicious. All inauspicious matters are removed on the path of a progressive devotee. Meeting all the great sages, the time of death was certainly auspicious for Maharaj Parikshit. Thus, he was blessed by the so-called gods of embroidery. Yeah. Uh, Actually, I don't recap so much because I don't give the notes. So there will be difference in the class style. But I will also try to recap some of the points. Is today what I told, I don't remember all the points. Then I want to speak of people who are hearing how much they'll remember. But some recap should be there. I will try because I don't keep notes. I just speak. Some notes I am sharing that will be recap for you. Yes. So this structural review. So we'll meet on. I'll just take this one. We'll meet on Sunday 9 to 10. I sent you my mobile number on the chat. If somebody is interested, they can send me a message on WhatsApp. I'll add them to the group. And that is Zoom ID is a different Zoom ID. If you are, this is to make us understand the structure. I felt that lectures are very helpful. That's the reason I wanted to share, because some devotees they hear, they feel Proji, it is little very technical. I want to make it little more simplified to make understand. Maharaj is giving he's actually giving in a detailed way, but when you make a notes of it and then you go through the same lecture, we can understand it more clearly. That's what I felt. When I heard the first time, I also felt so much. But now when I hear, I feel very nice. That is the only thing. But later, maybe after a few lectures, when you hear directly, you'll also have the same feeling. Anything about it, you can let me know. Somebody want, they can join. I did not add the numbers which posted. If somebody is interested, they can send me the number directly. Okay, we'll just take this one last verse and then we will. Yeah, I will add. I will add the numbers. Whoever is interested to join 9 to 10 Sundays morning, you can IST, Indian Standard Time. They can send me the number. The sages said, O king, O chief of the saintly kings, since you are one of the kings of the Pandu dynasty, who are all strictly in the line of Lord Sri Krishna, it is not at all astonishing that you have given up your throne, which is decorated with the helmets of many kings to achieve eternal association with the personality of God. Foolish politicians who hold political administrative posts think that the temporary post they occupy are the highest middle gain of life, and therefore they stick to their post even up to the last moment of life without knowing that achievement of liberation as one of the associates of the Lord is his eternal in his eternal abode is the highest gain of life. Human life is meant for achieving this end. The Lord has assured us in the Bhagavad Gita many times that going back to Godhead, his eternal abode is the highest achievement. Prahlad Maharaj, while praying to Lord Narsinga, said, "O my Lord, I am very much afraid of materialistic way of life, and I am not the least afraid of your present ghastly, ferocious feature as Narsingadev. This materialistic way of life is something like a grinding stone, and I am being crushed by it. I have fallen into the horrible whirlpool of tossing waves of life, and thus, my Lord, I pray to your lotus feet to call me back to your eternal abode as one of your servitors." This is the summit liberation from this materialistic way of life. I have very bitter experience of the materialistic way of life, in which in whichever species of life I have taken birth, compelled by the force of my own activities, I have very painfully experienced two things, namely separation from my beloveds and meeting with what is not wanted. Wow, such a nice purport. This is very, very amazing. You can read many times. What a realization. And to contract them, the remedies which I undertook were more dangerous than the miseries themselves. So I have drifted from one point to another, birth after birth, and therefore I pray to you to give me shelter at your lotus feet. And Prabhupada says the Pandava kings were more than many saints of the world know the bitter results of the materialistic way of life. They were never captivated by the glare of imperial throne they occupied, and they sought always the opportunity of being called by the Lord to associate with him eternally. Maharaj Parikshit was the worthy grandson of Maharaj Yudhishthir. Maharaj gave up the imperial throne to his grandson, and similarly Maharaj Parikshit, the grandson of Maharaj Yudhishthir, gave up the imperial throne to his son Janmejaya. That is the way of all kings in the dynasty, because they all are strictly in the line of Krishna. Thus, the devotee of Lord are never enchanted by the glare of materialistic life, and they live partially unattached to the objects of false, illusory, materialistic way of life. Very important. Lord want that such devotees be there, take care of the people of this world, and ultimately the arrangement is made that you have to get out of this world. That is actually quite painful to give up after doing so much. You cannot be attached to it. It really hurts the ego very, very bad. I did so much, and people, they feel cheated in their life, and everybody feels cheated at the time of death, because they have invested so much time, energy, everything in something, and one fine day yourself get lost. You can imagine how painful. Anyway, we will read this tomorrow, and there are some nice points to be shared. We will do it tomorrow. Any questions, comments till now before we end? Okay, thank you. If somebody interested, then we'll meet on Sunday morning also. I have sent the Zoom ID in chat yesterday. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Danvat Pranam. Prabhu, thank you so much for a wonderful class. Prabhu, I just want to ask in a different angle, but I don't know whether this pastime is true or false. That because when the Pandavas got in the prasad, they went to that forest and they burnt the Kandava forest where all the snakes and all died, and that's how Takshaka gave a curse that I will be the one who will end your dynasty. I'll come and kill you. Because the act of Arjuna, which caused suffering to so many snakes and people, so many living entities in the forest was the cause for Parikshit's this destiny. So I just want to know whether those Pandavas were saintly, devotees, and still their acts are carried forward through their generations. And what about us normal people? Will our acts also will cause sufferings to the future generations? I just want to ask, Prabhu.
Two things. What happens is whole Takshika's family gets killed, and Takshaka he want to take revenge. That is true also. Because Arjuna is there, all the family of Takshika is killed, and he want to take revenge. And that is not wrong, because everybody can take revenge. You want to take revenge, and it does not affect actually, because they are Kshatriyas, and they may sometimes be successful, sometimes fail. Everybody want to take revenge. They may not be able to take also, and he cannot anyway take revenge on Pandavas, because Pandavas are under protection of Krishna, and Krishna is personally there when Arjuna is burning. Krishna is driving the chariot and Arjuna is killing. And that is for the pleasure of Krishna only Arjuna is doing. So it is no way wrong. And because Krishna wants that living entities to die, yeah, their lifespan is ending, or their karma is ending, or Krishna want to give them higher destination, or they are very sinful that they don't deserve to be living. Krishna have many reasons to kill any living entity, and he is using his devotee Arjuna to kill all of them. In that way, Arjuna is not wrong in burning, because Krishna is only making him burn that. And this is one thing. And another is Takshaka is taking such type of revenge and all. It does not work for Pandavas. Why it is happening Pandavas is because Krishna wanted it, that's all. Otherwise Takshaka could not do. And he could not completely destroy his dynasty also, because Janmeja is there. Na? He could only kill Parikshit, and that also he could not do, because before Takshaka comes, only Parikshit goes back to it. He just burns his body which is left back. And Janmeja is always there only. He is
So
there, and
it's not that he bit him and then he went into the flames of his body burnt in the flames. The Takshaka didn't even bite him.
no, he bites, but before that only Parikshit Maharaj's souls goes to the spiritual world. He only burns the body which remains there.
Okay.
So that's how it happens. And also they cannot, the curse don't affect actually, means anything for pure devotees. Unless Krishna sanctions, nobody can do anything to them. They cannot even touch their hair also, one hair also. What to speak of killing them and other things. Unless Krishna wants it, it will never happen. It's all Krishna only. And that is how we should understand. And this curse, and for us, if we do anything wrong, main thing what happens now, we create bad impressions with us. That is the dangerous thing for us. The reaction is one part. There are two things. Say if I am doing some wrong activity, if I stole something, one is you stole the property, government will punish, or if you are escape from government, then you will lose your things in next life. You will lose 10 times more than what you have stolen or something. But that is not the main part. Main part is the impressions. That means the tendency to do that is reinforcing, and then we may continue doing it. That is the greatest thing. When for what happens to devotees when they do bhakti, these impressions are going away, and sometimes even if they are doing some mistake, they do out of habit, because it's like a snake without poisonous fangs. That's why it is okay for devotees. Okay in the sense means Krishna is take care, but they should not do it wantedly. It should happen by out of force. Like suddenly devotee he is watching a movie. Now we should not see. Okay, he has a habit of watching 3 movies a day. Now after 1 year he watched a movie. Now we should know he is doing out of habit, and Krishna will remove that habit from him. It should not be taken so seriously in that. That means it's not like sinful activity. He has that impression, so slowly it will go away. But for outside people, the karma affects two ways. You get reaction also and the tendency to do also. That is more dangerous. The sanskaras are more dangerous.
Prabhu, I just want to know whether acts will affect the future generation.
Oh, future
Or
generation. Yes,
or
yes, yes. It
whatever our
affects.
forefathers did anything wrong, will we be suffering for that? Or
Yes, yes.
so that's
Yes,
what
it
I just
has.
want.
Yeah, it has effects. Like not only forefathers, Daksha's yajna, the curses was going on, and Daksha's people they cursed Lord Shiva's associate, Shiva's associate cursed Daksha's Bhrigu and all, and they said, "Oh, you people are interested doing rituals. You will just remain ritualistic. You will not understand any. You will not be interested in spiritual knowledge."
Hmm.
Transcendental knowledge, and that curse is still applicable to the brahmanas now. All the
Correct,
brahmanas, they do big rituals, but they don't interested in any spirituality. And
correct.
then this curse that you people Shivites, you will become materialistic, and that's actually what happens now. That affects also. Indra is giving his sins to women and trees and water and land. That
Correct.
that can go down also. That works. That is why big people should be very responsible. Anybody, and then that's what Parikshit is also telling. Na? He says,
Hmm.
let the curse affect only my myself, not the whole family, because that is very much there. That goes. And same thing with devotion also. If one member in the family does very nice devotion, it affects. And Prabhupada gives the example of Prahlad Maharaj. He says,
Okay.
in the purport yesterday we were reading like that.
Yes.
It has an effect. If a person does in the family good activity or bad activity, the reaction is somebody like in my family, somebody killed a snake. Now also they do some rituals so that they don't have the effect of it. That is
Okay.
this.
Okay.
So they take care of it. But if you do devotion, all other things which your family members, past, present, future, everything will be nullified.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. But for commonly, it affects.
It affects, yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare
Hare.
Krishna.
Okay, we'll end here. Thank you all very much. Mantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.